Midland over there. Look at that. So I have to walk round now to get to Morrison's. Get into Morrison's. Excellent. So I've left Morrison's and I've just been into a little market across the road called Festival Market. It's like what markets used to be, indoor markets, you know. Little stores of this, that or the other. Got your pet food one, your clothes, your books, your second-hand books, all the bits and pieces. It was really nice. Don't see many of those around now. Didn't buy anything. Just browsing. So, windy. Let's get out the wind. So I'm now going to wander back towards what looks like the centre of Morecambe. I don't know what I'm going to film. I don't like filming when there's lots of people around. You might get your phone snatched. It feels a bit weird. But we're going to walk. Have a little wander around, see what's there. I'm not looking at a map, I'm literally just going to let myself wander. I don't think you can really get lost here. So next to Morrison's you've got a B&M, and there's the Range, the usual selection of cheap shops. There is, what's this? I'm just going to head over to where it looks like there are more buildings. That looks like a bingo hall. This isn't highbrow. It seems to be where everybody's going. There's a little bit of a skate park there. I mean, a lot of these seaside towns are a bit tired now. These used to be the centre of tourism back in the day. But now people go abroad for the holidays, they don't come to the beach for a week now. They don't even really have any beachfront arcades here. That looks like a gym. There's a little arcade there, but it's not on the front. There's the arcade there. There's the gym. There's a lot of pay and display car parks. Just following the crowd. If this is where everyone's going, it must be for a reason. We have outdoor Sunday market. It's good they've got lots of markets here. I miss having markets to go to and have a little look around. The front there. We've got railway station and retail park, promenade and beach. And you can get free water here. That's unusual. Disused church there. It's for sale, that church. And these would all have been holiday B&Bs for families coming to Morecambe for the summer. Indoor market thing there. We've got a post office still. If you've still got a post office, you can't go wrong. It's a charity shop. Wetherspoons. This Wetherspoons is called the Eric Bartholomew, which is Eric Morecambe's birth name. And there he is up there. That's the second acknowledgement of him I've already seen here, because there's the statue, which I showed in my last visit here. I mean, this isn't a horrific high street. There are actual useful things here. But it's not great, is it? It's a travel lodge. Loads of charity shops. Walk back out onto the seafront, as you can see there. Let's go this way. Let's walk away from all the people. It's the amusement arcade there. More roads running off the high street. More shops. Let's go down there. Chippies, pizza places. I've seen full fabric and yarn shops since I've been here. Looks like a Greek restaurant. It's a cute little street. Just going to walk back down to the seafront again. Shops are all much the same. Just wandering about really. It's much more quaint once you get off the beaten track. It's probably a lovely town once, as a lot of places were, and now they're all a bit tired. The Methodist chapel there. Look at this tiny little place here. How cute is that? Look at those two. All these little houses. Oh wow, look at these. Look at all the windows on that one. Dodgy dudes. So I've come down further than I've done before. There's the pier I was at last time. I'm further down than that this time. Sit and get my bearings, work out where I am. Whose seat is this? Fred Dibden and his beloved dog Sam. Oh. I saw this on the rocks and I thought, people will drop anything, won't they? It's actually a thing. Look. Kitchen Sink Drama 2022 by Anthony D. Paget. John Osborne wrote, Look Back in Anger on Morecambe Pier in 1955. So they've mounted it as a memorial to that event. The sea is coming in. bet that comes in fast. I'm going to walk back along this bit of the beach. No idea if you can hear me. If you can't, I'll just get a view of the beach. the flowers. I'm going to start walking back. It's almost lunchtime. Tide's coming in fast and I'm almost out of battery on this phone. I was going to go and see if I could find the blue plaque where Eric Morecambe lived, but the internet is so bad here I can't get the maps to load. So I'm going to take a gentle stroll back, and I'm going to switch this off. I've done all this before anyway, and I will see you back at the car, and then I can get this phone back on charge. That's it. So I'm back at the car. How fast did that tide come in? I was completely in by the time I got back here. And now I'm looking out, and this morning when I looked out, all I could see was rocks and sand and whatever, and now it's just sea. Anyway, so I am going to go somewhere else for lunch. And I'm going to go back to that car park that I stopped at before, the Car Lane car park. I think, is it Heysham? It's still part of Heysham, I think. Right, let's see what we can do here. Let's give it a go and see where we end up. So the last time I was here, you could walk for miles along this bit of beach. Today the sea is almost at my wheels, which is no surprise because I've only come a short way round the coastline. But that's fine. I just waited to come here to have lunch. If I sit here for long enough, the tide will go out again. So I'm going to have some lunch. I have that cold pizza that I cooked up yesterday. It was really interesting listening to everyone's comments about my recent car life video and the other bits that I've mentioned in other videos as well. And a lot of the things that people said I have already thought about in one degree or another. So I feel like I'm on the right track for it, because all the things that people are saying, well, if you thought about this, if you thought about that, what if this happens, or whatever, I've thought about that. There's a channel that I've recently started following, although it's been going for a while, and this guy had converted the Citroen version of my car, and he was living in it. He'd been living in it for a year by the time I found his video, so I don't know what he's doing now. And that's why I was investigating like how to remove like the back seat and the passenger seat and that sort of thing, which I haven't done. But now I've removed the back seat, that passenger seat will go much flatter, and it really has made a difference to the sleeping position, which is good. But someone mentioned about, well, if you live in your car, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit in your car? You can't just sit in your car all day. And I have thought about that, because this guy has been living, or his car has been his home for the last year, says you don't live in your car, you live from your car. So you have to find all different other ways to be. And if I was going to do it and I stayed in the town which I'm already in, I would have 11.5 hours of work outside because of the cleaning jobs. So that gets me out into other places for 11.5 hours a week. And then there are 3 or 4 different places where you could go and, you know, buy a coffee or something and then sit there, and I could work on the computer, on the laptop. So that would kill a few hours. And then there is, you know, the potential for doing a little bit of travelling around. The problem is that the way my cleaning hours work at the moment, I don't get enough chunks of time to go off and do other things. So I have a cleaning job on Monday, I have one on Wednesday during the day and one on Wednesday evening, and then I have either Saturday or Sunday. So I could juggle things around and do a Wednesday afternoon right through to a Saturday away other places and then come back again. And then of course there's, you know, where do you stay? when you are in the place that you're staying in, you know, where is safe to park your car for the night. And I know the town well enough to know certainly the areas to avoid. And you only need a few quiet streets to park up in at night on rotation for you to be okay. And you're better off finding places that are on the outskirts, because you're less likely to have, you know, the gangs of kids that hang around that we certainly have. And then you would be, if you're on the outskirts, you're probably on the nicer bit of town where it's going to be quiet residential with nicer houses. But that's something you can research. As I say, we've got a Starbucks, a Costa. There is a couple of pubs which you could just sit in, get a coffee or a tea, and just sit there with the internet for a bit. But you have to really structure your day differently. Because it's like me being here and thinking, okay, see, in the summer it's different. When you've got the light until very late, you can be out doing other things. Now, as it is at the moment, it's getting dark at 7 o'clock. So that's why I chose to arrive much later last night, because I didn't want to be stuck in the car from 7 o'clock in the evening, because it's dark and there's not very much to do round there, right through until, you know, like 8 o'clock the next morning. That's like 12 hours of just lying in your car. You can't do that. Even if you have work to do, you can't do it. So when the weather's not very good, as it often isn't, certainly in winter and for much of autumn and spring, you have to decide where you can go. And very often you can't take your car with you, because it might be that it's paid parking and whatever. So you've got to get from your car to wherever place you're planning to spend your day, or part of your day, in a cafe or something. And you've got to deal with the weather with that as well. So your life becomes very structured, because you can't just have a day at home, just, you know, chilling, working, crafting, that sort of thing. If I could find a little, like a studio workshop instead of storage, that would give me somewhere else to go every single day. But when I was lying there last night, trying to wind down after I'd arrived, sorted out my bed, got organised, and I'm laying there thinking, you can't live in this. It's ridiculous. That other chap does it because he leads a very singular life, and he doesn't have anything. His work is writing e-books, so he finds cafes and things to work in, and then he just goes out and he walks. Well, none of that works for me, because most of my work, I mean, when I'm recording like this, that's fine, but a lot of my work is making stuff. So a lot of that would have to end, or would become more constrained. But it's interesting to think about, isn't it? I like the idea of it as a challenge. And if I had no choice, if it was that or homelessness, then yeah, I could do it. If I had to. I might go home today. I don't think I'm going to do a second night. It's 1:30. I've got one more small walk that I'd like to do back in Heysham. But I walked a lot today. Let's have a look. I walked almost 7 miles going to Morecambe and back, and my legs are killing me. This whole new menopause trend is not good. The muscles in my legs, especially in my thighs and my feet, just hurt so much. And then being sat in the car like this is not a good position. I didn't have much planned for this trip. It wasn't very structured. I just wanted to get away and get to the beach. That's what I wanted to do. And I've done that. I did a night. The new sleeping position does work. And that's all I wanted to test, really. This is not a great time of year, really, for car camping. Because what you want to be doing is out, and if the weather isn't great, it's not too bad, but it's really windy here. It's pretty relentless on the wind front, and I feel like I've done what I needed to do. I have a lot of work to get on with back at home, a lot of crafting stuff to get on with. I'm halfway through doing my next batch. So it's not like I don't have anything I should be doing that's kind of more important at the moment. So I think I might do lunch here, finish my lunch. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I've got the kettle on the go at the moment. And I think I'm going to go home. I've done what I set out to do. But it's nice to get out. And if I get nice weather, I'll keep an eye out for nice days, and I'll try and get out and do some day hikes. I want to revisit Gambleside because I missed a load of the houses there, and I'd like to go back and see if I can find some of those. But I need a nice day for that, because if you're going to be up on the hills, you need decent weather. But yeah, all my joints hurt. It's not my joints even, it feels like all the muscles that run down the outsides of my thighs and my feet hurt when I'm on them. And I'm just feeling so old at the moment. I've got to sort this collagen thing out, and because it's just so painful and it's uncomfortable. And it wasn't too bad last night because I was able to sleep flat. But normally when I'm like at home in my own bed, I fidget and I toss and turn a lot until everything calms down and I find the right position and I can stretch out the joints and the muscles. And I can't do that in here. I've got limited space in order to do that. So it means that I end up being uncomfortable for longer until things sort themselves out. So, anyway. I feel like I've had enough. I'll try and get some things packed and ordered because everything's absolute chaos here. And I'll have my tea. Which I've now spilt all over myself. Honestly. I'm a wreck. What a nightmare. Right, I'm going to tidy up the car a bit because there are things everywhere. I need to stretch my legs so I can't sit in this position. The way these car seats are, they dip down towards your hip, so they come up towards your knee, and that's the worst possible position for me, I can tell you. It's not good. So I'm going to go outside and try and sort some bags. So windy out there. There are 3 cars here and we're all just sitting here looking out at the sea. And you've got that British trope, whatever it is, where you sit there with your flask of tea and just look out at the view. That's what we're doing. So I finished my tea. I'm going home. I'm tired. And it's really windy. I think that tide's started to go out. I can't tell. Anyway. Oh dear. Let's go home. Let's enjoy the last of the sea. And then I shall go.